Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna do a little video. I'm gonna sharpen this knife. I'm gonna set an edge bevel and sharpen it. Now this is not a sharpening how-to video, but this is a knife I just finished. Before I sharpen the knife, I make the sheath. So I just made the sheath for it. So there's a little Streamside model of mine. It's an ABL black canvas micarta. I sharpen all my knives by hand on stones. I don't sit there and worry about what edge angle. It's just by hand, by eye, by feel. But this knife is fairly typical of what I would do with a knife like this as far as the lean grind. And I wanted to show you how long it actually takes me to set an edge bevel and to sharpen it by hand. So I'm going to start off. This is a two-sided Norton Crystalline. This is actually the fine side. I shouldn't need the coarse side with a nice lean grind like this. And I'm just using WD-40 as my lubricant. And what I'll always do is I'll take a couple passes on either side. I'll check the edge. I'm looking for light, just to kind of see where I'm at, to know where I'm gonna have to work more, less, what type of pressure I need to put on the knife as far as setting that bevel. And again, this is just setting the initial bevel. The knife has a tiny sharpening notch right here, not a large one. So I'm sharpening to the notch. Most of my light I'm seeing is at the tip, so I know I'll need to work the last maybe 3/16 of an inch at the tip more. But I'm gonna be fairly aggressive since I am setting the bevel. I'm gonna do this in real time. Never in a great hurry when I do this, but I'm not gonna have to put a whole lot of effort. There's lots of videos on sharpening if you want to learn how to sharpen, but basically I'm removing metal, I'm forming an apex. If you don't form your apex cleanly on your first stone, it's not going to get any better on the second stone. It's just going to make life more difficult for you. I just keep some napkins. I use napkins all the time. Wipe it down. Take a look. I still see a tiny bit of light reflecting at the very tip. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've reduced the pressure that I was doing initially. All right. And all along, I'm using phone book paper. So, oops. I'm already slicing foam book paper. So at this point in time, I just need to start to clean the edge up and refine it. So I'm going to take the Norton Crystalline, I'm going to put it up. And now that I've switched grits, I'm done with this napkin because I'm not going to contaminate the next one. So what I've got is a Norton fine India stone. It needs to be cleaned actually. If I wasn't talking, I'd be going a lot faster than this, but you get the idea. More WD-40. If you don't want to use WD-40, don't use it. Simple green, mineral oil, whatever floats your boat. With kitchen knives, I typically use Windex and Simple Green, not to use the WD-40, even though I'm going to clean the knife. the kitchen knife afterwards. Now I'm just doing some refining. And as you can see, I don't know what angle. I'm not counting strokes. I just know that I began on a pull stroke, so I'll end on a push stroke, and that keeps my stroke count even. All right. Phone book paper. Okay. Now we're going to switch over to my last stone that I'm going to use. Again, I'm just going to wipe this off with the same paper towel that I used just for that stone. I'll discard it. And this is an Easy Lap 600, 1200. I'm just going to use the 600. And find where I set that at. Oh, there it is. I just use a little block of micarta and a clamp to keep my stones in place on the end of my. This is actually my hand sanding station, and I have a piece of leather here that the tip of the knife goes on, and I use that to hold the stone in place on this side. All right, so back to the knife, and now light pressure. You know, all I'm doing is refining the edge. Clean napkin. Now, at this point in time, you could go up as high as you wanted to and grit, if that's what you want to do. Some people strop. I don't strop. But there you go. In real time, that knife went from not having a edge bevel to setting the edge bevel to sharpening it. And now this knife's ready to